Hi everyone, welcome once again to the Lowdown in 15, and today is episode 9. I can't believe it. My goodness, yes, it is episode 9 and it's called The Games We Play. But before we go into the games we do play, I want to take my time out to say thank you for everyone that has come along this journey with me, for every review, every feedback, every comment. Believe me, keep it coming in. It is so encouraging. But if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell as well, so you always know when something does come up here. And do follow us on Facebook. We're on Instagram as well. And have you joined in on the Mission Mondays? My goodness, do join in on those ones, It is a marathon that we are on. Every little helps. Every encouragement is worth something. Believe me, when you're running a marathon race and you have the officials behind, they have water for anyone that may need it or anyone that falls behind. But you also have the people that stand on the sidelines. Either they've got a bottle of water to give you or sweet. Every little helps. So please do join us. Let's go all the way together. So yes, today is the games we play. Did you check out the promo? Did you wonder what the games we play has got to do with that wonderful song that was in the background? May your blessings be upon you for 1,000 generations. I remember I told you about my voice, so don't worry, I'm not going to break into a long song. But did it cross your mind? What has games got to do with that song? As usual, I will encourage you. Walk with me. Take a walk with me. Let's go down this road. Let's see where it leads us. Let's see what we're talking about here. So yes, I'm going to start off with the definition. Humor me. You see, it's a game. Everyone knows what a game is. Yes, just humor me. It's a game, but today we're taking two variations of the definition. And as usual, do walk with me. So the first definition is the noun, which is a game, and it is an activity that one engages in for amusement or for fun. For example, the kids were playing a game with their balloons. Then we have it as an adjective. That means being eager or willing to do something new or something challenging. Isn't that amazing? That is when you're game to do anything. You're game to go all the way. Game to stand up. Game to do it. So those are two different variations of the definition of the word game we're using. But taking the first one, a noun, let's talk about games. There are all sorts of games, but I'll just pick a few that I believe are common or popular, should I say, to most people. Or should I say to my generation? Everything seems to have gone digital nowadays, but we have games like Monopoly, we've got chess, we've got snakes and ladders as board games, we've got card games, What, Bridge, you've got Ludo, that's also another board game, you've got tennis, you've got basketball, we've got all sorts of games. But generally speaking, games could either be games of chance or games of skill. Sometimes they could fall just in between. All those ones I've listed for you, some are games of chance, some are games of skill, and some fall in between. A lot of times when they call it a game of chance, you're left either to, your fate is really left to the roll of the dice, there's no skill involved. Or when they say it's a game of skill, then you have to use your wits and probably a sort of strategy to come out. You're pitted against someone's wits and their skills. So that comes into play. And then we have those that are in between. But the big question here is, have we left our lives to be a game? And if we've left our lives to be a game, have we left our lives to be a game of chance? Where what we do or what happens to us or what we are meant to do is now left to the roll of a dice. That's the big question here. That's why the statement comes, the games we play. Have we left our lives to be games of chance? Because our life is not a game, but have we been living it as such and then leaving it to chance? Walk with me and see what I mean. Let's take the first game, for example, that I want to talk about, snakes and ladders. That game is one of sheer luck. You throw the dice and either you land on a neutral ground or you land on a snake or you land on a ladder. Now, when you land on a ladder, it shoots you up to the destination you want to go, closer to the destination you're aiming to get to. When you land on a snake, you go downwards, you go back, it takes you back, retrogression all the way back. But that is determined by the roll of a dice. Do we live our lives by that way? Do snakes and ladders remind you of something? You know, the historic version of snakes and ladders was actually based in morality, where a snake represented a vice and a ladder represented a virtue. Is this beginning to ring a bell? Are you getting the connection I'm trying to make here now? Remember, the song behind was called The Blessing. And the Bible tells us in Deuteronomy 10:8, it tells us clearly, now it shall come to pass if you diligently obey the voice of the Lord. And he begins to pronounce the blessings, saying that you'll be made high above all the nations of the earth. You're diligent in that. That is a blessing. Does that not look a bit like a ladder? Because you're going up, you're being favored and you're going up. But when it says here in 15, if you do not obey the voice of the Lord, then he begins to list those curses and you go downwards. Isn't that not similar? But you see, when it comes to the Bible, when it comes to the book that has been laid before us, when it comes to the commandments of our Lord, there's no chance in it. It says if you obey, you are blessed. If you disobey, you are cursed. So there's no roll of the dice that may be chance. Have we, as believers, lived our lives as a game of chance? Where it's by the roll of the dice, either we go up or we go down, when there's specifics laid out to us on what to do. Very specifics. When the Lord tells us that he has given us the keys to the kingdom, there are specifics laid out to us. Let's look at a game like a game of Monopoly, where it's come see, come size, right in between, where some of the decisions are made by the roll of the dice. It makes the first few decisions for you. Then they roll the dice. Then there's a bit that is laid upon depending on luck. Another bit is depending on your skill and your wit and how you're going to make your investments. It's still a bit of come see and come sa. But the Bible tells us clearly that his divine power has given us all things that pertain to life and godliness. Then where is it that we have left our life to chance? Can we all say that we have done diligently, that our lives are not left to chance? Then you look at a game like chess. I know it's amazing what they call chess. They call chess a game of perfect information. And we as children of God should know that we've been given all the information we need. We've been given everything. All power and authority has been handed on to us. And the game of chess is open. You can see what your opponent is doing. You can see everything. So now it's left to your wit, it's left to your strategy on how to go about. Have we been diligent in doing these things? How is it that today we find ourselves in a world where we are being dictated to on what to do, how to do it? Wear a mask, don't wear a mask, go outside, be only 6. Have we been diligent in doing what we're meant to do to come out as kings and queens? Do you realize why I related the games we play to the blessing? Because if we're not getting the blessing, if we're not being favored, if we're not going upwards, it's a choice we have made. We have so many instructions that have been given to us scripturally. It tells us in Proverbs 13:15, good understanding gains favor. Favor is not a by chance kind of thing. Good understanding gains favor, but the way of the unfaithful is hard. It's a choice. The Lord didn't take away our will. But have we taken our time to understand? Have we taken our time to seek his face? Have we taken our time to seek his ways and not his hand? Because it says good understanding gives favor. In Hosea 4:6, it says the people are destroyed from lack of knowledge. Have we been diligent in this? Have we been diligent in looking for knowledge? Because it tells us, because you have rejected knowledge, I also will reject you from being priest for me. 2 Corinthians tells us that if we are ignorant of the devices of the devil, he would take advantage of us. Have we been ignorant of his wiles? Have we been ignorant of his strategy? Have we been watchful? Have we been vigilant? Have we been sober? Have we been watched so that we're not taken off guard? Or are we just being responsive? That old serpent has one way of coming at us, and it is always deception. It starts with the deception. Have we been ignorant of his wiles and been taken advantage of? I want us to be honest with ourselves and look at our world today. Where did we go wrong? Did we leave things to chance? Did we keep quiet and let things go on? Were we locked up in our own bubble? Then we have Proverbs 18:21 that tells us the tongue has the power of life and death. The stakes are high. Our words can bring life or can speak death. Our tongues can build or can destroy. Have we been silent when we should speak? Have we spoken the right words when we've opened our mouths? Because the right word starts from having a good understanding. The right word starts from knowing the face of God. Have we spoken the right things? Or have we left our lives to be lived by the roll of the dice? And the worst thing about this roll of the dice is that we are not the ones that are rolling the dice. Someone else rolls the dice. Someone else calls out the number. And now we are made to be puppets to follow that number as it's called out. Believe me, have we left our lives to be lived as a Russian roulette where we're not sure when the bullet is going to hit us right in the temple? My brothers and sisters, we need to arise at a point. We need to arise and be aware. We need to arise and be informed. We need to arise and know the strategy. We need to arise and be aware of what is happening around us. And when we arise and be aware, we cannot be silent. Have we been silent for too long on so many things, giving an inch here and there and being pushed back all the way? And when we are aware, the information is made out and available to us. Have we taken action? Sometimes that action is a little thing, but it counts so much. It's not even a little thing. It's just a little thing you need to do that counts so much. For example, a survey was released that was not so publicized. Somehow or the other, it missed so many people. But then someone got a hold of it and started to spread it. Can all of us honestly say that we took our time to write on that survey what we actually do believe about the vaccines? Because the survey was about the COVID-19 vaccines and how it would be administered to people. Did we take our time and make our voice and our opinion known, or did we keep quiet? These are the little things that add up. Do we keep quiet? And then when something is said, we said, oh, had I known? Or, oh, they have done this. What did you do? There is so much power in one. There's so much power in one. The Bible records when two disciples, the Apostle Paul and another, entered the town, just two of them, and the whole town shook. How many are we that these things are being put in place without our voices being heard? You know, sometimes it's even a vote. A lot of us will just say, oh no, this vote, it doesn't matter. I've been guilty of that. Oh, my vote here doesn't matter. Now, what do I do about it? But no, the land is at rest, is at peace when the righteous rule. So if you don't put in your vote, how does that happen? So a lot of times when we look at what is happening around us, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Be 6, don't be 6. If it's this way, if it's that way. Where were we? Are we kings by word of mouth? They say a son does not differ from a slave if we don't grow into what we're meant to be. So my brothers and sisters, what are we doing here? Do we live our life as a game of chance? Or on the other hand, are we game for anything? Are we game for change? Are we game to rise up? Are we game to step up? Are we game to speak out? Are we game to make our voices being heard? Are we game to be the kings we are meant to be and make decrees? It has to start from somewhere. We have to say no to certain things. So let us not be silent, especially not in this season. Our lives cannot be games, least of all games of chance. I hope I did catch your attention, and I really do want to hear from you. But more than hearing from you, I want us to take action. Each of us have a sphere of influence. That little bit that you do can go so far. So let's take action together. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. I am Ursula. And next time, we have the little rudder. Thank you.